Fresh Fade teams are ready to be taken to the booths. All new 8 teams are earning their spots in that legend stage and skipping over the debacle of the challengers by having an elite level performance back at the RMRs. And Prof, you were saying quite aptly that there are a lot of teams we expect to be here, the likes of Navi, the likes of Vitality. Some we didn't expect though, which was surprising coming out of the RMR.
Yeah, of course. Into the Breach is on the top of that list, going through to the legend stage directly. Fnatic going 3-0. I think that's a big talking point, how they got here as a 3-0 team. We can talk about that later. BNE, Bad News Eagles, I think them coming to the major is not a surprise, considering their record, but maybe as legends that's a bit of a surprise. And yeah, I think I used some of my thoughts here to bring up my pick'ems and decide my pick'ems for this one.
Pull him out your pocket.
I'm gonna pull him out. I think it's nothing too crazy on my side. I went for a Navi 3-0 and I went for Into the Breach 0-3. We can talk about that. And then the rest is pretty much as expected. I think the only team that I don't have here is Liquid. I put in a cheeky 9 in there instead.
I feel like it kind of describes aptly our current situation, which is we feel like 7 out of the 8 playoffs teams are relatively safe. We could be horribly wrong.
Yeah.
This is the premise of this legend stage, right? With the bottom end of that being Furia and ENCE, but Furia is a team that definitely makes all of the playoffs, about all of the majors. But the question is, who is going to ruin everybody? And
yeah,
I don't think Into the Bridge is actually it.
No, you don't think it is? I agree with that. I think their RMR has been kind of an overperformance. Definitely Cypher, he was insane. He was a top 3 player at the RMR. I don't think that's going to repeat. Looking at his history, at most of the events this year, even them playing online tournaments, the CCTs, cups and stuff like that, the pineapple cups as some like to call them, he was in the red most of the time. And then comes the RMR, he's top 3, and then he has a decent form now. So either he's something just transformed in him and he's now going to be a legit player, or that was a one-off kind of thing. And I'm banking on the first.
And you really feel like today is the day where any hope for Into the Breach is actually being put on the table.
Yeah.
It's literally an all-in. It's an all-in about 2 best of 1 where they can maybe surprise someone. Because in best of 3, who amongst the team that we have would I be ready to put ITB above in a best of 3? Really complicated.
We just saw their RMR results on screen. How would you compare them to, say, a Fnatic, for example? We're looking at Fnatic and going, okay, that might have been one of the easiest routes. They didn't have to beat any team within the top 30.
Yeah.
Was there any impressive signs from Into the Breach there that, you know, maybe they got something?
For sure. Like they looked like a pretty decent team prepared on like a map like Vertigo. They had quite a few things, but I also think when Cypher is opening up bomb sites as well as he is, then everything becomes a lot more easy. And also Rallen was really good. Fnatic, on the other hand, yeah, definitely not impressed by their run at the RMR or online tournaments before, or LAN tournaments before that. Like it's been quite a while since we had like a good Fnatic performance.
Prof, what I'm hearing is that any team that's a UK player you just hate, apparently.
I don't hate
UKCS, man.
What's the problem with UKCS? Do you want to? Should
more
we address
UK players than French players. There we go, Matthew. What do you make of that?
Let's have this conversation in playoffs, shall we?
How many Swiss players? There's actually technically one.
But I'm me.
Yeah.
I'm here as well.
So basically, Vitality thrive. You're French. If they don't, you're Swiss. So you've got all your bases
my double
covered.
passport.
Let's pull up Navi as a team to put under the microscope. Obviously, you put them through as 3-0. Why do you have so much confidence in them not dropping a series?
Yeah, it's not like I think they're the best team here. I just think, considering they're playing Gamer Legion first, and the other 4 favorites are playing against each other in the first game, I think picking any of them as a 3-0 is kind of risky because those matchups are, I don't want to say 50-50, but definitely can go either way. And here we have Navi against Gamer Legion. That's a big favorite. I think Gamer Legion is one of the worst teams in this stage. Yeah, that's kind of my banking. And they also have a high seed, so when they beat Gamer Legion, they go into the second game, they're going to play the biggest underdog. Maybe someone makes an upset in the first round, they're going to play them. So that's why I'm kind of leaning towards Navi.
And listen, Navi remains the pinnacle of consistency.
Yes.
That's just a fact. There are 2 teams across 20 or 23 and even the end of 22 who have been always chronically at the very top is Heroic and Navi. That is it. Navi, what? Only semi-finals finish at big events on LAN. Like, they don't fail. No. The limitations of Navi, the ceiling of Navi, don't come into play during the legend stage. We're talking about a championship run, we're talking about playoffs, and this is where maybe we start to see cracks.
And sometimes we see the best version of Simple as well, or the most consistent version of Simple when we come into majors. So, Prof, you are 9 out of 9 gang, firmly believing.
Yeah, I mean, I was doing this before it was cool.
Oh, well, we have to stop. Like, we have to stop.
Before it was cool.
We have to stop this whole, like, I'm going to hijack the broadcast. Like, this 9-9 thing, like,
because you
ego
haven't
trip,
done that, Matthew,
sort of
have
like,
you? That's not your vibe.
I'm sorry. You know what? Pull up my pick'ems. Let's have a real conversation. Let's all admit what we don't want to admit to ourselves, that we want the coin. People who say they played for the 9-9, it's just like a tricky way to let themselves off the hook. So if something goes wrong, they're like, oh, man, I played the 9-9, you know, I'm a lover of the game. Bull crap. You're lying to yourself.
3-0.
I'm playing the coin. I'm playing the coin.
3-0.
Bite me. Liquid 3-0. Because I'm going for the teams that will make it at the bottom 7. And if people are pretending like they're not doing it, oh man, I've heard like cognitive dissonance in my life, but that's one of them. I played a 9-9.
But, okay, right, Liquid, I get the approach, I get it. I'm part of the 9-9 nation, didn't survive and thrive in Challenger
It's getting
stage.
Worse.
But Liquid, of all the teams, we're looking at a Challenger stage where they didn't have to be a single European team to make it here. How,
so when G2 has to be Mongols and complexity to make it through, that's fine. But when Liquid does that, then that's a problem suddenly. Like we're just deciding on what foot we want to dance. Like when it's G2, it's okay. When it's Liquid, we have an issue.
Like Fluxo, they had to be. Complexity makes
This looks
sense.
like a 3-0 team to me. I don't know what you're talking about, Freya.
Y'all don't understand how it works. We're looking for the coin, okay? Stop lying to yourself.
Okay, percentage hope that you might actually, you know, accidentally change allegiance and become 9 out of 9.
My actual hope that I have 9-9 is about 2%.
Right, okay.
And I'm fine with it.
Okay.
I'm okay with that.
Right, let's move on to your 0-3, because you did take that one seriously. Who
yes,
did you put?
I took Game Legion as a 0-3 because I played some of the predictions in my head and I thought about the matchups that could happen in 0-2. And I thought Game Legion, what are they going to be? You got a problem, brother?
Ema's not happy about that decision.
We had a Game Legion behind us?
Yeah,
I just
as you said, like I
have no problem with
0-3, he was walking here looking at you.
Maybe the
I mean, what's it going to be? I'm going to be honest, you know?
Yeah.
You think I will mask my thoughts because we're on the desk?
Yeah, they don't pay you for like Z tier analysis. They pay you for the truth,
They don't pay me at all.
They pay you for the truth.
Maybe they should. Yes. Maybe they should. You're doing one-on-one coaching if anyone's interested.
Yeah, hit me up on Twitter.
Shut up, Matthew. So no hope that they're going to actually make a series. You think it's an overperformance for Game of Legion to just make it?
Listen, no hope is obviously not the right way to put it. When you get down to 0-2 and you have a favorable matchup here, maps can come into play as well. There is a chance. But I just thought in terms of best of 3 and who I'm ready to give them a pull, and I thought Game of Legion would do that.
And they're taking on Navi first. That is not a pretty sight to be seeing.
Yeah, it's definitely an unfavorable matchup right there. Like most of them are going to be, but Navi, simple, never missed one playoff in his career of a major, so it's going to be difficult.
Can we bring up Matthew's pick'ems just one more time? Because I believe, sorry, I'm going to keep on drilling this right home. I believe you didn't have 9 in your bottom row. Is that correct, or am I blind?
That does sound correct.
Yeah?
Yes, that does sound correct.
You had 9, correct? Cool.
I didn't have 9.
Fight. Tell me why you don't have them.
I mean, okay, let's
out of my 9, I have 9.
Let me ask you a different question.
Way, at least.
Let me ask you a different question, Freya. Out of the 7 teams that I have making it through, now you, right here, right now, are going to tell me who I remove for 9. Go, come on, let's go.
None, because I have all of them.
Tick-tock. Who do I remove for 9? Let's go. Time.
None of them. You don't put Liquid 3-0.
That's my problem. That is my problem. But when I put Liquid 3-0, I give myself the mental comfort of knowing the 7 at the bottom. It's like, let's go, let's do it.
I feel like I should have stepped in here just bullying Freya for no reason.
No, because you try to put me on the spot.
What are you going to do? What are you going to do?
Putting me on the spot, like 9 is not here. Well, okay, who do we remove? Who do you remove from mine?
Remove Furia.
Furia?
Ooh.
You mean the team that's never not made playoffs since Major came back?
What kind of these statistics? Blah, 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 blah. Doesn't matter. They played some, I don't know, easy teams last time.
Did you have Furia in your bottom row?
Yeah, I did.
Oh, you do have Furia. Like,
this
is getting more and more interesting. I'm loving this whole conversation. This is looking great for me.
These guys are also looking great. And they're looking pretty solid, not going to lie. Furia, kind of a change up. For me, why I see them maybe faltering is this whole we changed our style thing. And how is that going to develop? Are they going to stick to it? Is it going to be like, oh, panic mode, two losses in, and we need to, like, you know, Nico IGL kind of mode. We need to go back to what worked before. And we saw some of that in Rio as well. I think in their matchup in the semifinal that they lost to Heroic, there was kind of defaulting back to like super fast plays.
I mean, it will remain part of their game style, right? To have the fast play Counter-Strike. I do think we are overplaying this narrative of Furia's change of playstyle because it happened before we noticed. I think the narrative took time to catch up with what Furia was playing. Like we all kept with our, oh, Furia is just rushing with W Nation. And it's like, actually, they had already sort of put some water in the wine before that, and now we're catching up. And yes, it's the fast Counter-Strike is going to remain here, and they have to be able to use it as a weapon. But it's been a moment since they toned down a little bit the pace.
Matthew, time for you to bully me even more, because I'm going to bring up my pick'ems. I've got the same 0-3. I put Gamer Legion, unfortunately, in that spot. But I put Heroic 3-0.
That's a good pick'em.
Like, the Danes just, they don't falter in the pre-playoff stages of like S-tier events.
Yeah, I'm not going to bully anything. This is a great pick'em. That makes sense.
Yeah?
It's just, I think 9, I don't know how, I catch myself thinking, hey, 9 could actually do some damage here, but how much of that is just confirmation bias from what we've seen very recently, and we are all kind of sucked into this vortex of thinking 9 is absolutely amazing.
Yeah.
I don't know how much depth there is to it, how much base there is to it, but I think it's a great pick.
I think for them, it's a lot about that ancient problem that they have right now in the best of 3s. I think in the best of 1s, they're going to be getting one of their comfortable and pretty strong maps, Nuke, Vertigo, for example, which they look pretty super solid on. But then if they go in the best of 3 against the wrong opposition, that's the map pool is not going to align properly. Yeah. Maybe then after that, they play, you know, a G2 or a FaZe that goes into a 2-2 pool. Then things become complicated for them. But I think they can make it quite easily, but it can also get super complicated.
Let's talk about the Deadly Danes that we just saw on our screen as well. Obviously making it to IM Rio, the grand final. They're faltering to Vitality with that too. But I don't think, for me, that bleeds any kind of warning signs, because Heroic have been consistently one of the top teams for quite some time now.
Absolutely. They're extremely consistent. And again, the same conversation as with Navi. Some of the ceiling and some of the flaws that we sometimes notice about Heroic aren't supposed to come to play today. They're supposed to come to play when we get to the arena, and very possibly in the grand final. We have to realize they're sitting at the top. They're currently on the throne that is debatable, but they are on the throne of Counter-Strike currently. And so the question is not whether it's going to happen today, it's more down the line. They have one of the most stacked and distributed team that we have at the very game. Just like a silly little stat, their CT ratings as players is just astonishing. There's literally no weakness. There's literally nobody that has a bad CT rating. That is a quality of Heroic.
Yeah, because they play for the team first. Everyone plays for everyone on that team. There's no one playing, oh, I'm playing bad spot, so I'm stuck in this spot all the time. I'm playing B Mirage, never moving. Like, wherever you play, you're always going to get some action, because you're going to be pushing B halls, you're going to do a mid aggression, you're going to swap position, you're going to stack A. Everyone gets a piece of the action in Heroic.
So we haven't convinced you the 9 out of 9 nation is where it's at, Matthew.
I think
you haven't looked at my pick and gone, actually, I'm not changed my mind.
This whole 9 out of 9 is just
you know what the problem is?
A story you tell to yourself, that's all.
Maniac couldn't get a diamond coin even playing the game, like 5 out of 9. That's why he's
How
so
many
stuck on this.
major little thingies in your profile do you have, Prof?
I never played the pick'em, so.
There you go.
I never even tried. I don't care about that.
I think we need to get some air, man. Let's take a look at the schedule for today, because we got a lot of matches coming up here whilst Prof and Matthew fight it out just behind this beautiful graphic. Of course, we're beginning with these best of 1s. We've got an A stream and a B stream going down simultaneously. But over on the A stream, we're going to be kicking things off with Gamer Legion versus Navi.
What's going on, Blast TV? They finally gave me my own show, so let's make it good. I've flown in Counter-Strike gods from all over the world to come and be grilled by me on their past, present, and future. We've got interviews, great moments, and finally, all new gauntlet map made to test the skills of our upcoming guests. Welcome to your new favorite televised vacation. This is The Launders Show. So Dupree, amazing to talk to you so far, and I want to talk to you more, but first I'd like to go and watch some clips, and then we can continue this conversation. I want to see if we can jog your memory here, so we get the clip from the demo itself, but you already recognize it, don't you?
Yeah, I mean, one thing is from the skin. One is that I'm playing the AWP right now,
yeah.
And I'm on the T side, so it's me main AWPing, and it's against SK. And the reason why I was playing AWP was that the device was sidelined because of personal reasons. Yeah, it was just crazy. I'm in a situation where I need to clutch here, and I start spamming the smoke, and I just remember the crowd going crazy. Cole Sure runs through, and I just like la 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 la, and then yeah, everything just went crazy.
You were kind of forced to op,
yeah,
but then you continued opping, of course, and you had a great tournament.
This tournament, yeah, I had a really good tournament here, and then I thought, so easy opping. We went to a major at once. We had a discussion within the team. Device actually felt like playing a little bit of rifle. I was like, sure, I've been doing pretty well in the AWP and this tournament, so I'm just going to continue. I think I had a really bad first game. Then I had a really good second game. And then things started to get crucial because it was the old system where you would, it was only best of ones all the way through. I remember I think we were playing against Cloud9. The old Cloud9 that was Skedoodle and Automatic and Tarek and whatever it was. And what happened is that I tell Device in the middle of a game where I'm not hitting him, I'm doing it. I was like, Nikolai, we're gonna swap back, and he's like, okay. And we made the swap mid-game.
Mid-game?
Yeah, mid-game.
He gave him the op.
Yeah, I was like, take the op back. He's like, okay.
Yeah.
And we just decided to go back to the old thing. So I started rifling, and he started playing op.
Rules are meant to be broken. Forget everything you thought you knew. This is where everything changes. New histories will be written. A major future redefined. The time has come for a major evolution.
Legends in their own right, Navi have landed in Paris. An all crew have attended every single CSGO major versus somebody else on the opposite side of the spectrum, Gamer Legion now only getting their first taste of a Legends stage. When we talk about paradigm shifts, Matthew, that is exactly what happens with Gamer Legion in that Challengers stage. They started off the first day looking pretty weak, arguably. They go down 0-2. They managed to make the reverse sweep work.
Yeah, the turnaround was very impressive for Gamer Legion. I did not expect that after the showing of day one. I also believe that they were granted some relatively mentally weak oppositions on the way to their 2-2. We're talking about Mouse, who, as history has shown, were having a horrifying moment here in Paris, then bringing on to OG. But the Force game is the most indicative game when it comes to Gamer Legion, and it's the one that provided me the most value and the most hope. So much hope that I put them as an 0-3.
Didn't last long.
Coming, did you?
Yeah, these results, when you look at this, losing to Complexity and Mongols on the first day, you're like, okay, this is GG. These are two teams. Both Complexity and Mongols didn't make it through. They got like one win each. Mongols, a lot of people picked them as 0-3. This is the one win that they get, and then Gamer Legion went on to beat Mouse, G2, Force, like all three.
Oh, definitely not G2, OG.
OG, not G2.
That would have been crazy.
That would be crazy. Yeah. And then we could talk about them being favorites here against Navi, but that wasn't the actual case. I think Ime and Acor, classic like 2-star players for this lineup, but in that deciding Force game, it was Kiaz who was delivering insane numbers, holding down, anchoring, acing, doing whatever he needed.
To me, Gamer Legions are a little bit reminiscent of Bad News Eagle in the sense that they're one of these teams where you will lose them on your radar as the kind of season progresses and we're going through all of the big events in Counter-Strike, but then suddenly you have this peak happening at the major that kind of starts the conversation again. And I have relatively little trust and confidence in this team and their ability to just punch through the top 10. But there are a few players here that are worth the attention. And we all know in a world where a very valuable IGL is hard to find, Shui is maybe just having an audition for the rest of the world as we are speaking.
And for him, having to take down somebody that he claimed as some of his best friends in Mouse, players that he used to play on the academy team with. For him, you know, it's a heartbreaking moment to be, you know, submitting that pain to his fellow friends, but it really showcases how much talent he has.
Yeah, he said it after the interview. That wasn't really it's one of those wins you're happy to have, but also sad at the same time because it means that these guys are out and they won't have a chance to recover. And it's a similar story for Acor as well. He was on Mouse.
Yeah.
He honestly he struggled quite a bit on that lineup, but here he proved he can still deliver something.
We'll talk about a little bit of a revenge arc for Gamer Legion squad coming into things. Speaking of Acor, let's get a few words from him, courtesy of Dinko.
Good to have you here for the Legend stage, Acor. Good to see you guys in the second stage of the major. I just want to talk to you about, you guys had maybe a little bit less time to prepare considering how to go through in the last game. So you have a Navi in the opening game, not an easy opponent by any means, but what is sort of the discussion you guys have had in terms of how you want to approach Navi?
We've been trying to prepare for them for like the last, we only had 1 day to prepare for them, but yeah, we've done what we can, and yeah, we'll see what it brings us.
Now, it's a unique problem trying to figure out how to go up against Simple. We've heard some operators talk about they look for AWPing patterns of their opponent. What have you kind of prepared for Simple?
We have we had an idea of how he's playing, and yeah, I'll have to see if I can manage to find a way to beat him.
Now, we have seen you play really well in comparison to the last 3 months. Your rating's much higher in the Challenger stage. What sort of allowed you to come back to form?
I tried to focus a bit more on myself instead of the team, which might sound like a bit of ego, but I felt like I needed some change, and coming up to the major, this is the time to change now, and I tried to change up my way of playing, and I think it showed a little bit that it definitely helped a bit.
Now, we've seen you guys go down 0-2, lost to some teams you really shouldn't have in that Challenger stage. What sort of started to click and come together towards the end?
Yeah, going down 0-2 was not that great for us. We came back and played really great games from that, and we just continued doing that.
Yeah, what sort of was the reason for that? Did you notice any noticeable differences that allowed you to play better?
I feel like the team as a whole kind of stepped it up, and everyone would take initiative, and it was more like in the game and not distracted, or how you can say it. So everyone being here and ready for the games is what made us happen.
Sound pretty simple when it comes to it, but we've got to give some props to him. Yeah.
And then decided to play better.
And then we decided to kill some people, plant some bombs, defuse some bombs.
Won some games.
But for him,
that in the past, historically, some of these teams that have already played their way through the challenger stage are somehow more warmed up than the teams that already pre-qualify.
Yeah, they're coming in hot.
Yeah, I don't know if it's going to make a big difference here, because I do agree the level difference between Navi and Gamer Legion should be a big one. But in the past, we've really been surprised. There's been moments where we think, wow, all right, well, this was something completely different. Navi, though, look well disciplined. You can see it in that pistol round, not really fighting when you're low on health, just waiting for the teammates and all the rest of it. Chaos, though, take down Simple.
Take down Simple.
Good shot with the Deagle. We love it.
That's a great shot with the Deagle. Nice little man advantage, and also, I mean, that allows Gamer Legion to spread the map out a little bit more. Now they realize that defense is going to have to shift, is going to have to move around, so maybe they can exploit something. Maybe they can find a gap. They don't just have to go for the desperate hit towards the B bomb. The problem is, obviously, no utility.